Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make a pair of these beaded ball drop earrings. So you can make them super long like I have here, or a bit shorter like here, any length that you want. So this is what they look like up close. Oops. Like this. And this is the other one. So to make some of these, you're going to need some size 11 seed beads in two colours. So one for the balls and then one in between. I've used a hex cut seed bead, so they're super sparkly. You could also do like a silver lined bead like I did here. That's also a really sparkly effect. So two colours. You'll need a jump ring, earring hooks, using this really nice one, which I don't know where I got it from. I just found it in my drawer today. So wow, that's nice. And you'll need your thread. I'm using £6 Fireline in crystal. I'll tell you the different amounts as we go because you have to cut several pieces of thread, and a beading needle. This is a size 12 beading needle. That's everything, so let's get started. So then the first thing you're going to do is pick up 4 of your size 11 seed beads. Slide those down, leaving just maybe 4 inches, enough that you can hold it and enough to tie a knot at the end, and go up through that first bead. So you have this. Now pick up one, coming out of the one on the bottom, you're going to go straight through the one on the side. Picking up one, coming out of this one, you're going to go straight through the one on the top. Picking up one, coming out of this one, you're going to go straight down through the one on the side. And picking up one, coming out of this one, go through this one on the bottom and the one above as well. So through those two. So you have this, keep it pulled nice and tight all the time. This time you're going to pick up 2, coming out of here, skip 1 through the next one, picking up 2, coming out of here, skip the next one through the one after that, picking up 2, we're coming out of here, skip over 1 through the next one, and picking up 2, we're coming out of here, skip over 1 through the next one and up through the next 2 as well, like that. Pull that nice and tight. So you should be coming out of one of these groups of 2 we just added. So when you do the next row, if you put your thumb into the middle, you kind of start pressing that middle down and encouraging it to curve up on the edges. So picking up 1, coming out of these 2, skipping that one underneath and going through the next 2. And when you pull it tight, just push that middle down so it starts to curve upwards. Picking up 1, skipping the one underneath and going through the next 2. Oops. Picking up 1, skipping the one underneath and going through the next 2. And picking up 1, skipping the one underneath, going through the next 2 and the one above as well. Now it's important to pull that really tight, and those 4 beads you just added, sort of push them up like this into the middle as you pull it tight, and it should start to curve up a little bit. Now picking up 2, coming out here, you're going to skip 2, go through the next one. just make sure they sit on the top like that. Pick up 2, skip 2 through the next one. Picking up 2, coming out here, skip these 2 underneath and through the next one. Oops. And picking up 2, coming out here, skip the 2 underneath through the next one, because it's the last one in the row, through the 2 above as well. Then pull it really tight again. So we have this, and we're coming out of these 2 here, picking up 1, skipping over 1 and going through the next 2. Again, picking up 1, skipping over 1 through the next 2. Pick up 1, skip over 1 and through the next 2. Finally for this row, picking up 1, coming out here, skipping over 1, going through the next 2 and up into the single one above as well, like that. Pull it tight as always. So we have this final row, picking up 1, coming out of here, skip 2 and go through the next one. Picking up 1, skip the next 2 and go through the next single bead. Picking up 1, skip the next 2 through the next single bead, and finally picking up 1, we're coming out here, skip the next 2 again through that next single bead and up into the one above, and pull that really tight. So you should have this. So now you're going to go through those last 4 beads you added again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to bring them together. Pull it tight. So there we have our first ball. Now we're going to tie off the threads. So just going to move down a little bit, keeping it pulled tight so that last circle doesn't start to come undone. Then I'm going to tie a knot here. So take your needle under the thread that connects your bead to the next one. So I've caught my needle underneath that, pull it through and go through that loop from bottom to top like that twice. Pull it down, pull it really tight. So there's our knot. Now when you move through a few beads, make sure you do move through a few beads before you cut your thread so your knot doesn't unravel. Pull it really tight and then the knot will pop inside the bead. And then you can go ahead and cut your thread. Now thread your needle onto the tail thread and cut that off as well. And then you need to go back to the start and make as many of these as you want. So like I said earlier, I'm doing this one today in the video, so I'm going to make 2 more. But yeah, you can do any length. There's really no limit to this, and the pattern of how to assemble it is still going to work for whatever length you do. So go ahead and make as many as you want for your length of earrings, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so once you've done however many of the little balls you want, we're going to assemble the earrings. So for this I still use fire line. I know some dangly earrings it's better to use a looser thread, but because of the weight of the balls it doesn't affect the hang, so fire line is okay for this. So I've threaded my needle. So this is going to depend, you might have to sort of guess how much thread you're going to need, I suppose, or work with a long piece to make sure you've got enough, and then obviously don't waste the bit that you cut off spare. You can use that for another project, because for this length, if you're doing one the same as me for 3 balls, I'm going to use a piece of thread that is 18 inches, but obviously if you're going to do a really long one, you're going to need a lot more thread. You definitely need at least double the length of your earring, plus I'd say an extra 5 inches for weaving in and out. But yeah, you might just have to experiment with this one if you're doing a different length. But for this one here, I've cut 18 inches of thread and threaded my needle. And we're going to start by picking up 2 size 11s and your jump ring. So for the 2 size 11s, I'm doing the contrasting colour up here, so it's this part, but you can do the same colour as your band if you want. Band? This isn't a ring, you know what I mean. Okay, so slide those down, make sure your jump ring doesn't just fall off the end. I'm going to leave literally that much just so that I can comfortably hold it like this. Let me see how much it is. It's about 3.5 inches. It's literally just enough to tie a single knot at the end when we're finished. And then making sure you go back through the jump ring as well. I'm going to go back through both of those. Pull that down. So we have this now back through the jump ring again and back through one of those beads. So you should have this. I'm just going to circle through that one more time. So up through this bead on this side, through the jump ring, and then down through the bead on this side. And then we're going to start threading on our beads. So moving on to your second colour that's going to go down the middle, the pattern that I do is pick up 4 of those, slide those down, followed by one of your little balls. So what you're going to do is find the base, which has got this group of 4 beads where we started, and poke your needle, straight through the hole. Just make sure it comes out that same through those 4 beads out the middle on the other side, so it's sitting nice and central, not wonky. And then I'm going to pick up 10 of these, slide those down, and then picking up my next ball in the same way, slide it down, and then repeating it, picking up 10, and then the next ball. Slide that down. Okay, slide them down so they meet like that. So obviously if you're doing a longer one, you're just going to keep going until you've got all your balls added, and then when you've done that and you're at the end, then holding these tight down so they're slid right down to this, just holding that in place. I'm going to pick up 2 of those same beads that we were stringing and go straight back through this last ball. Make sure I'm coming out the centre on the other side. Pull that down. Now it's slid away like this. If it does that, you just want to hold those 2 we just added as you pull this string over here until it meets. So we have this, and now with this remaining thread you're going to travel all the way back up. So I won't show you all of that, but basically just don't miss a bead or you'll have some thread showing. So I'm going all the way back up through all of those beads, and then when you come back up to the top here, you'll notice that your beads are attached to this bead on this side. You want to attach them to the other bead, so go up through this one on this side that they're not already attached to, and when you pull that tight, that should centre it so that it's not sitting to one side of your jump ring. If it comes loose, what you can do is hold on to these last 2 beads while you pull this needle tight, and then pull it, and it should tighten back up. So we have this. Now I'm going to travel through the jump ring, back down through the bead on the other side, and back down into these beads until I reach this first ball. Go straight through the ball to the other side. So I'm here, coming just through the middle of this ball, and then I'm going to move into one of these beads in that central circle of 4 in the ball, like that, and move through a few beads into the side of the ball, and then I'm going to tie my knots like we did earlier, and I can cut this thread off. Tie as many knots as you can, and then cut that thread off. And then what you want to do is thread your needle onto this remaining tail thread and do the same thing. So you should be coming out up here, you're going to sew back down into this ball or one of the balls, it doesn't matter, move into the ball and tie your knots in the same way, and then make your other earring and then we'll be almost finished. Nearly forgot. All that's left to do then is to open up your earring hook and attach it onto your jump ring. The reason I don't attach it or do it all in one with just the earring hook, it hangs nicer if the ring is hanging from a hook, I've found, rather than just attaching it straight to the earring hook. And also I don't attach that until the end because it just gets tangled. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll see you back here. So once you've done all that, then that is your earrings all finished. So this is what they turned out like. So here's the one made in today's video. So I'd love to see if you make one of these. Share pictures with me on Instagram at Beading by Hannah and follow me there. And you can comment down below here anything else you'd like to see. Like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see more of my videos. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye.